6, 7.
Not today.
Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back at it again for another Transformers Studio Series action figure video, and today we're going to be taking a look at another figure from the...
I am directly below! The enemy screwed him! Left cheek! Left cheek!
Michael Bay universe, the Transformers The Last Knight Barricade. And now with the figure out of the way, taking a look at the packaging, got some nice artwork here. It says he changed the 23 steps, Last Knight Barricade Studio Series. That artwork just kind of continues off to the side. Here on the back, we got promo images, and he's an officially licensed Ford product. And,
Authentic Transformers.
And yeah, that is basically it for the packaging. Barricade actually comes with quite a few accessories here. First of all, he does come with this pair of pistols. And not gonna lie, these do kind of put the piss in pistols, if you know what I mean. But they do have some cool weapon storage where you can store them on his hips, kind of like a traditional pistol inside a holster. Which was a feature on the old original deluxe class from the Premier Edition, which I do not have, sadly. Another carryover from that deluxe class is Barricade also has this little mini Gatling gun that goes around his forearm. You simply just split it in half into two pieces, and then you just kind of collapse the two pieces around the arm. It does look good here, but I do think the original deluxe figure did do this accessory better. And for his final accessory, Barricade comes with this long, glossy black thing. I'm actually not entirely sure what this thing is supposed to be. Is it like a taser? Is it... I don't know, but all I know is that you can just plug it in on his arm right here. But other than that, I'm actually not even quite sure what purpose this thing serves. And now taking a look at Barricade's ugly mug. He looks good. I like the way it was painted up. It has a lot of life and personality in it. However, I do kind of prefer the original head on that original deluxe class Barricade with the Decepticon logo on his forehead. Kind of has the battle mask look and like the 4 bug eyes. But again, this one's not bad. This one's just more movie accurate. It's just brought down to personal preference. And again, this one isn't bad. Is all good in its own right. Coming down to the chest here, he does have a little Decepticon logo hidden right there on his chest. And then I just love seeing all this mechanical detail here from his alternate mode. Gives a lot of depth and detail to this figure. My only complaint is I wish it was painted up just a little bit better. I feel like there's a little bit of bare plastic around here. But that being said, there is still tons of mechanical detail, which is something that the Michael Bay designs in Studio Series always excel at very well. And again, that also extends here onto the arms. There is that arm cannon right there. And I'm just going to remove this just so I can demonstrate one of my complaints on this figure. This guy does not have his punish and enslave brass knuckles on his fists. Heck, I wouldn't have even cared if it said protect and serve instead of punish and enslave, but anyway, that's another thing that the original deluxe class also excelled at as well. But again, I also understand that Hasbro probably did that just because they didn't want to make it seem like they were advertising police brutality and that kind of stuff. Which, again, understandable, but it does leave out one of the coolest details from Barricade. Because again, Barricade isn't a real-life policeman, he is a alien robot from another planet who is a bad guy. Which, speaking of, he is also missing the punish and enslave emblem on the back of the car as well. But as I said before, it's not a deal breaker. It's just something I noticed. And then he's got some nice mechanical detail going across his legs, though his feet look absolutely hideous. And no, this is not because I am a feet person. This is just from an engineering standpoint. Just looks really ugly and disproportionate with the rest of his legs. He is not bad as is, it's just, he just is missing a couple key details that I feel like would have improved or elevated this design, but overall not a bad figure, especially in the articulation area. Ball joint at the head, which allows his head to look up and down a little bit. He can rotate from side to side. ball joints at the shoulders, and there's a little bit of some butterfly joint movement in there due to transformation, if you can use it. Shoulders rotate a full 360, they can move in and out, though the out movement is a little bit, as you can tell, difficult to obtain. And then he does have a ball joint at the elbow. The ball joint in there does give him a elbow that is slightly under 90 degrees. It does also give him a swivel right there at the elbow. And that's it. No wrist swivel, no brass knuckles, no nothing. He does, however, have a waist swivel, which is much appreciated because sometimes Hasbro tends to shaft the waist swivel on some Bay film figures. His hips can also rotate forward that far. They can rotate back that far. They can move out to the side. He does get a knee swivel. His knees do bend at 90 degrees. He does also get an ankle pivot, and there is a ball joint in there which does allow for an ankle swivel. So, not bad articulation on this guy. It's just, you know, some of the proportions on him just make him look a little wonky in some poses. And of course, those missing details like mentioned. And now for comparisons, here is Barricade compared next to the 2007 Studio Series style Barricade. And yeah, I don't know how this guy evolved from this to that. I mean, like, what is this, Magikarp logic? Hey, but at least it makes more sense than Gyarados' evolution, right? Here he is compared next to the old Studio Series Core Class Mohawk from the same film.
Man, I want to kill you right now.
What the hell is that? Why the hell is that? What the hell's going on?
Which I have previously reviewed. Be sure to go and check that out. Here he is compared next to the Nitro Zeus figure.
Actually...
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. KSI Sentry. Be boring while you're at it. And then finally, I know it isn't technically officially from the same film, but it's still the same design. Here is Barricade compared next to the Age of Extinction Optimus Prime Leader Class. Be sure to check out that review if you haven't seen it yet either. And now with comparisons out of the way, we will now get into Barricade's simple yet kind of complicated transformation. And here's now taking a look at the new Studio Series Barricade in his car mode. I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. I will mention though, the transformation is just a little frustrating. Like, even though it is simple, the problem is there's a lot of clearance problems with like trying to get a lot of this aligned up, especially here in the back section. But honestly, I think it's worth it because the car mode itself looks really good. My only real complaint is there's no painted rims.
It's blank.
And again, I do like the police logo here. It is painted up pretty well. It's got some nice sculpted in details here across the top. I love how it recreates that Ford Mustang that just looked really mean in the film. Got the light bar like previously mentioned. Sorry guys, spoiler alert. Anyway, and then he's got some back headlights and stuff like that. And then also here on the top, it does have the numbers 8.
I don't like where this is going.
6.
No.
7. Anywho, overall, I'm just glad they also gave him tinted windows so you can't see all the bullshit back there with all the transformation stuff. And honestly, the underside is not that bad. It's really just the head sculpt here. Sadly, though, you can't rotate it around to hide it. But again, who's really gonna care? Oh, and it does also roll really well. Also, just like the Michael Bay movies, you can make this guy look super excessive with all these guns and explosions and... Also, by the way, this is literally the only use that one black piece has, is that it literally is just weapon storage for the weapon storage. Like, what the fuck? Wow, I finally found something more useless than I am. And now for comparisons, here is the Last Night Barricade compared next to the 2007 one. Here he is compared next to Mohawk in the motorcycle mode. And then here he is compared next to KSI Sentry, Nitro Zeus, KSI Sentry Fudge.
Only I didn't say fudge.
And then here he is, lastly, compared next to the Last Night Leader Class Optimus Prime, or I mean, Age of Extinction Leader Class Optimus Prime. Could you guys tell I'm slowly losing my mind? And yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. I like this figure a lot. Though it's not as good as it could have been. Again, the alternate mode does do a lot of the heavy lifting for this figure, and don't get me wrong, the robot mode is great. It's just, again, it's a little disproportionate in some areas, and again, it also has those problems of being a little bit too, he just looks a little gangly, and, there's some creative liberties that Hasbro took with the design of this figure that I am not entirely on board with, especially considering some of those details are movie-accurate features, and the Studio series entirely is built around the idea of making things as movie-accurate as possible, at least within a budget. And so, just in my opinion, I do like this figure. It's just, again, it's just not as good as it could have been. So, that being said, if anyone in the future ends up making like an upgrade kit for this guy, or makes like a sticker sheet or something that has like the Punish and Enslave logos or the brass knuckles or anything like that, I might just pick up those upgrade kits and stuff like that for this figure. He does deserve it, in my opinion. But overall, if I had to give this figure a rating just as is, accessories, engineering, all that in mind, I do give this figure a very solid 7 out of 10. I'm not head over heels for this figure, but he is definitely by no means that bad. I just wish he was slightly engineered just a tiny bit better, and yeah, that's pretty much the main complaint. But anyway, that's it for this review. If you guys enjoyed it, give me a like on the video, comment below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel for more Transformers and action figure content, and I'll catch you guys next time.